Middlebury Hard Press, the Middletown Patch, and the Middletown Township Public School District website, and the posting of such notice at the August T. Minor Administrative Offices, means elementary, middle, and secondary school in the district. Roll call.
Mrs. Carnegie, Mr. Cody, Mr. DeFranco.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Little. Mrs. Stella. Here. Mrs. Walsh. Mrs. Martin. Here. Mrs. Minions.
Here. I'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for Elizabeth Degnan, ED, passed away on October 13, 2018. Dr. Degnan worked in the district as a school psychologist from 1970 until her retirement in 1989. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We're going to start with our presentation from our student internship to Google, New York City.
Mr. Suriak's going to set the table. Thank you.
So I have a brief presentation and we have our other students. This past September 11th, we were lucky enough to get a trip to Google for interns. Google pretty much showed us their culture and basically everything that is Google in New York City. The day consisted of a presentation by Google about their philosophy, about their culture, about their business. Then it included a Q&A with current Googlers, which is pretty interesting, followed by a tour of their workspaces, which was even more interesting. Our contact at Google, Peter Logley, created a great, amazing learning experience for us. He provided us with this presentation and then gave our students free reign, more or less, at Google with any questions. Google were not related to pretty much whether it's technology or education. I have this presentation here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, obviously. I'm going to hit a couple slides up just so you can understand, you'll get the understanding of what our students saw. I have a few pictures to share, and then we're going to hand it over. So it's hard to see, but this first picture is a picture of the current Google data center, and the importance of this slide is I will show you later on why. So they start with Google's mission statement, which is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Basically, what does that mean? Just harvest data and make it accessible to everyone. So if you look at any product Google has created or any application, it all fits under this massive umbrella of making data useful and applicable for everyone, accessible for everyone. Interesting note they brought up that in 2 years, we created more data than the previous 5,000 years of humanity, which when I finally clicked, it was pretty mind-blowing. It was pretty outstanding. Another fact that they provided with us was Google predicts that by 2025, we will be creating 163 zettabytes of data per year. A zettabyte is 1 trillion gigabytes. So right now, we really can't wrap our minds around something like that. But looking at the previous slide, we realize that's the direction we're going. Google's philosophy is share, and transparent. They encourage sharing amongst peers, amongst other businesses, amongst other departments. They also create collaborative spaces for this, and you'll see some of their collaborative spaces. Basically, they don't want anybody to feel they're working on a project. They want everybody to have the ability to work on a project, the ability to work on that project. 2 rules, or 2 questions each project must answer. Is it relevant and is it useful? And it does not have to be relevant today, it can be relevant in the future, but in order for a project to succeed in Google, you have to answer the question, is this project useful to anyone out there, and does it have any relevance? If the answer is yes, we will move forward with the project. And then also the final thing is innovation comes from anywhere. For example, Google Cardboard, which is now Google VR, virtual reality, started with a passion project from one of their employees. Basically, this employee had this idea of virtual reality glasses using a smartphone. They worked on it as a passion project, and then a few years later, it got pushed up the chain and ended up being an actual Google product. What's interesting about all these cultural philosophies I just mentioned, they're all things we're actually doing within our classrooms now in Middletown. If we're trying to build collaborative workspaces, we're offering 20% passion projects to our students, and we're having students share across across departments, across buildings. So this philosophy has been driving Google is also helping us drive our educational experience here in Google now. Really quickly mention what are skills of the future, and the top skill is problem solving, 51%. I think we all kind of knew that, but to see it in the graph, the percentage, the amount of percentage is kind of mind-blowing as well. Here's a fact that kind of left us all a little jaw drop. They're predicting that by 2020, 2 years from now, there'll be 1.4 million computer science jobs available in the United States, and only 4,000 U.S. grads fill them. That's exactly what we kind of thought, and our students kind of felt the same way. So during our experience, I and the rest of our chaperones tried to share as much as we were allowed to share via Twitter and social media. So I have some of those images for those who didn't see them. I also have a few others. Here are our interns at the Google. That's the downstairs in the lobby. That's where we're still getting checked in. This is before we told an elevator up to the 14th floor. Like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. They're very excited. So are the chaperones at this point. It's an obvious sign we had to get a picture for this. Here are our interns working with 4 current Googlers. The Googlers basically sat there and answered any question we offered them, whether it was about Google, whether it was about work experience, food. They answered anything we asked them, and they stood there, just sat there as long as we wanted to stay. Here's the Q&A continued through the workspace. Here's just the workspace area we're at, and I think that is Peter Logley, I guess our field advisor. He was the one who continued the Q&A with us. Here he is again, working with our interns, just in one of the hallways as we were walking through this workspace. We got to get a picture of the Google scooters, and then we also had to get the Google experience. So we had to practice. No students rode the scooters for safety reasons. We made sure that the chaperones did. There's another picture of a common space. It's like a cafe, but there's people with their Chromebooks or laptops and working on different things. This picture is hard to see, but I wanted to include it because it was pretty interesting. On the far right is a picture of a Google developer who was running before. As you see, our interns are looking through a glass door. Beyond that door is the original Google data center, the arrays that held original data storage. This whole data center was built in a cargo box, a container box. If you remember that picture I showed you earlier about the data center, it shows you how far Google has come, or technology has come in those years. But it was pretty interesting that we took this data center, this cargo container, and brought it to New York City and put it on whatever it was before. It's a Googler hard at work. It's a chaperone hard at work. And then here our interns enjoying a little bit outside. Unfortunately, it was an overcast day, so we were able to get outside to kind of get a break for a little while. So you've heard enough about me and interns and Google and everything else. I think we need to hand it over to our interns and let them answer any questions we have. Come on, guys.
They more care about your personality, what you have, and who you are as a person, how you grew with your past experiences, and how you're going to grow with the new ones. And they really want to make sure that like you're the kind of person who adapts, that learns, that really changes up when change is needed, instead of somebody who already has skills. So like for me personally, it was like walking away with the knowledge of like really anyone can make it in like the tech world, but you just kind of have the right mindset to it. You don't even need the tech skills when you first start into it.
Anybody else want to add to that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I thought that the Google headquarters, like in general, the building was really a unique workplace I've never seen before. They have like micro kitchens in every section and like seating that like you would never think would be in a workplace, and it was really interesting to see that and see them hard at work still.
Anybody else?
projects, but they're still able to produce some incredible things, even though they're so laid back compared to most other companies.
Anything else? Page one.
Yeah, I just had a question. So everybody knows Google and everybody uses Google products and software and everything, so you have a familiarity, you know, through the Board of Education. But so you went in with some expectations. I'm sure you knew it was going to be cool and different. But was there something that just far exceeded your expectations, kind of blew your mind a little bit when you got there?
The architecture of the building was very impressive. Blew my mind immediately. It is the way they present the building, the way they lay everything out. Every little detail is intentional, and every little detail you're gonna have is gonna catch your eye, and it's all intentional. It's all there for a specific reason. And our guide Peter actually outlaid those reasons. For example, there was a part of the building where you saw a bunch of lines kind of going down on the wall, and they're all different color. And I kind of pointed it out. I was like, you know, it's a really cool design. You know, who thought of that? And it wasn't really a design. It was how it was a line, and then in small print, that location of the world, and that line represented the amount of percentage of computer science that they have developed. And it was meant to give people in that area an idea, maybe throw that in their mind. Like, for example, you know, parts of the East are less developed, parts of the West. You know, like give these people kind of like a small mini fact as you're walking around. Like every little aspect, every little thing in the building had an aspect like that. And it was just breathtaking to like see that in work.
Another question. Being that nationally there's a real push, this is for the young women, there's a big push nationally for young women to get involved in the sciences, especially computer science. Did you come away from this experience seeing a lot of women there, or feeling like it was a woman-friendly environment? Is something that you could consider, a field you might consider going into?
I'd definitely say so. When we had the Q&A, there was a girl there, or two girls, and it was just like, it's not really, I didn't see any like gender differences. Like there might have been, but I really didn't notice it because that's not what they care about. Like they just care about, like what Rock said, like the work ethic, like and just like good people basically.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also didn't really see any like, inequalities when it came to gender. You know, like as and as Mary said, there was like two female panelists out of like the 4 people, so that was like really cool to see. And also that anybody could make it into Google. Like one of the panelists even said that there were like some like New York City actors that got jobs at Google. So you know, like I mean it really just shows you that that anything is possible when you put your mind to it. So it's wonderful.
Do any of you think you'd work at Google one day?
Probably have no.
Have any of you had the opportunity to work on passion projects as part of your schoolwork, and did you think of that at all when you saw the work that they were doing?
I would say that in some classes, you definitely get a lot more freedom with the work that you do than others. I guess, for example, my lit quarterly that we just did was, I guess you could say, a passion project because it was just writing a narrative, and it was pretty much all coming from you. You had to follow like a specific guideline, but it was very loose. I guess that could be considered a passion project. I'd say in psych we had to do a project of our own creation. So like in some classes there are situations where we are given the tools and given the trust from our teacher to go ahead and move forward with ideas and projects that we want to pursue for ourselves and for like things that we're interested in, which I think is very beneficial because it can prove that, you know, students who otherwise would not work as hard might put their mind to something that they actually enjoy.
Were you able to see any interaction with other Google employees from around the world on some of these projects where you might have sat with a few of them, they were working on a project and they were interacting with somebody in Ireland, a Great Britain, or in Africa?
We didn't really like. Yeah, we didn't really like see like different like ethnic groups there. see like every part of Google, but you know, I'm sure that I mean, like from what I can tell, Google seems like a very diverse place.
I know, like, when people have their passion projects, they start, like, some of the things really start, like, taking off. I know they have the one thing, it's the projecting internet from air balloons around the world. That was someone's passion project, but it took off, and they started to bring people in from other parts of the world, other Google offices, I guess, and have them contribute to the project, wherever they may be.
So you were all involved in summer internships with the district. How would you relate this experience to what you were doing with this summer internship? And I have a second part to that question, but let's stop right there first.
Are you asking like how would we relate the Google internship, like what we saw at Google, to our internship here?
The work that you did during the summer, do you think that potentially that work could give you experience to move in this direction or go in this
100%. I mean, like, personally, when I first did it last year, there were some aspects of it that, like, I already knew. But when you move forward and you start going to projects that are required that you know it's not necessarily done before, it becomes interesting. And you start working with people. Like this year, we worked with 2 underclassmen who had very different select skills, and there was this kid who he was not able to make his grade grade. He taught me how to fix certain types of hardware issues on Chromebooks that I had never done before. So in that instance, it not only taught me like team building, being able to learn from other people, my peers, not just my superiors, but also being able to fix certain hardware issues that I'd never encountered before. And that was just one small instance, and there was like numerous occasions of that, not just from the peers, but from the supervisors, like Dave as well. He showed us how different things work, how the core interacts with the system, and how one small cut of wire can like bring the whole system down and cause chaos for a day. Like there was a lot of things to be learned, and there was definitely good experience to be gained from it. And I know personally speaking, like I definitely gained valuable experience, not just IT skills, but team building, being able to work with a group, being able to lead certain projects, being able to complete a goal within a certain amount of time when given freedom. Because it truly was like the superior saying, this needs to be done, you know what to do, and get it done. It was like, you know, there was very little hand holding. It was mostly just, we had a responsibility to do, and we did it. And that's a very good skill to get, because a lot of people, you know, they struggle. Some people struggle with trying to get work done without getting their hand up.
Great, thanks. Other thoughts from your internship experience?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. My part of the internship, like specifically that I did with Mr. Alston, was like making like helping make the new district website. So you know, I definitely had a lot of experience dealing like with some of like the HTML code and like the back end side of things. And this was like a software company, you know, like they were even saying that that it's recommended like when you go to interview that like you've at least like touched code before, like that you've like seen it and like interacted with it, and like right now actually I'm taking like intro to computer science as an elective, so yeah like I think like the internship as well as my high school level classes would help me pursue a career, because you know I'm learning how to code. So
Great. Thanks.
Anybody else?
Is there anything you guys experienced there that you would take and put into a new passion project? Did any of you get inspired by anything?
I mean, again, just like the work they had there was cool to see, like, you know, they were working on something that they felt was like important to them, and how they could then apply it to their job and actually do something with it. So, you know, they all, like one of the people on the panel asked us what our own projects were, what we were working on here at home. And a lot of us, went home and really thought, like, they took a huge interest in what we were doing and helped us, got us with inspiration for our own projects and things we can apply to our, to get a career in the future. Just kind of like what they do there with their own projects. Kind of like inspiration for us, but also representing what they do there.
So I have a question about, talking about our summer internships, and we're looking to expand them throughout the course of the year. So based on your experiences that you've had with the internships, what advice do you have with us in moving forward with the internship program for students?
I'd say that it definitely has come a long way since its initial year, last year. I think having more interns was definitely a good call, but at the same time, you gotta be careful with that because you don't want too many people because then it gets a little crowded, that can start getting a little detrimental. I'd say it's aspects to it, and there's different projects. I know that there were two different main projects, and my part of the main project was like split up when we were separated at certain times. It's all about being able to kind of talk to the head supervisors at like each school, like Howard and Steve, and then also just talking with the head of the district of Dave and just seeing their feedback on it and what they need, because it all boils down to what Dave needs goes to what they need, and what they need comes to us, and it's just like that, it follows that flow. So for me, it's more of like, when I get there, I know what I'm going to be having to do for like that week, but other than that, it's very, very high level. So like, it would all come from asking instead of us, like asking more of that Dave, more of the head supervisors, because they have like, more experience. They really know like what things need to be done, what projects need to be done. And for us, we're more of like kind of tagging along and getting experience and really figuring out along with them like what's the most efficient way and being able to make good solutions for that. I'd say that the tech internship was definitely a success for the year that we did it, and I'd say that if there was like something during the year or just like a longer time period, that would definitely be a great improvement, because I feel that for the amount of information you gain just for that short amount of time, it could definitely be much greater improvement if it was spread out longer, because then you have these internships these interns that actually grow with the projects as well and become more experienced. And as time goes on, let's say you take someone as a freshman, by the time he's a senior, he can be supervising freshmen, and it's then he starts getting management skills. And obviously that's projecting much into the future, but it is like a feasible thing. You can really think of it as, instead of a summer project, you could expand that and have something be much greater than what is right now.
Agreed. Great feedback. Thank you. Other thoughts? Final thoughts from you guys? Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much for everything. Just so you know, for us as volunteers, this really makes us realize why we do what we do, because what you guys have experienced is incredible this year. It makes us feel good to be a part of it. So thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you for leading the way.
The district has certificates for these students.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Subiac wanted to commend them and recognize them. Jillian Milton. Robert Diasio. Mary McMullen. Cade Riegler. And Tyler Gunther.
Team picture with